We're going back to section 10.6, circles and arcs, where we're going to look at a few different things. Another look at naming an arc. We're also going to be looking at finding measures of arcs and finding arc length, which is going to be something very new to us. So the first thing we have to do is get some vocab down. First thing we're going to talk about is arc measure, and that's going to be the same as the degree of the central angle. Arc length is a little bit different. Arc length is calculated by taking the circumference of the circle and multiplying it by the angle over 360 degrees. And we'll look at some slides on how to do that. Concentric circles are circles with the same center. It's going to look something like a bullseye, like what I have drawn here to the right. And then the last thing we might have are congruent arcs. And those are arcs that have the same measure and are in congruent circles. All right, so let's look at some examples of finding arc measures. In this first example, I'm looking for 3 different measures, BC, BD, ABC, and AB. So this should be pretty quick for us. BC is this arc right here, and this central angle is going to define that. Since they told us the central angle is 32, we know that arc BC also measures 32 degrees. BD is this entire arc here, which is made up of BC, which we just found is 32, and CD, which they labeled for us is 58 degrees. So if I add 58 and 32, I know that BD measures 90 degrees. Okay, ABC is our next arc. So ABC, that's this whole arc right here. Well, I've got this line here, AC, that's a diameter, which means it's cutting my circle into 2. So this arc that we're looking for is half of a circle, and if we know a whole circle is 360 degrees, then half of it must be 180 degrees. And the last piece we're trying to find is AB. Well, we just decided that this whole arc is 180, but we found out earlier this is 32. So we're going to take that full 180, we're going to subtract 32 from it, which is going to give us 148 degrees. So these are my 4 answers. You go ahead and do this problem down here, looking for these 3 arc measures. All right, and the last thing we're going to look at is arc length. So this is entirely new to us. We need to take our circumference and multiply it by our angle over 360. So basically, we want, this is the circumference, but we're not interested in this whole length. We're only interested in the portion of it that is highlighted in red. So we need to figure out of the whole 360 degrees, what portion is this circle? So what portion of my circumference am I interested in? Okay, circumference. Let's start off with that. Circumference, the formula is 2 pi r, or pi d. Okay, they gave me my diameter is 16. So I am going to use this formula here. I've got pi times 16. So my circumference equals 16 pi. I need to multiply that by my angle over 360. My angle is this angle right here, so 90 degrees. So in my calculator, I'm going to hit 16 pi times the fraction 90 over 360. My answer that I get is 4 pi. So the length of this arc in red is 4 pi. You go ahead to the U-Try problem, and I will see you in class.